Hi. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Chapter 10 material. Pardon my attire today. I am about to exercise. Nevertheless, this is an optional video, so there are no questions to answer for points in the class for homework, but it may certainly help you for learning the material, giving you a little bit of extra information, and for some of the quiz questions. So Chapter 10 is about conflict. So there's different conflict styles. Here you go, as you can see. So let's talk about some of these. First conflict style that they talk about in the book is dominating. Dominating sometimes has been called the aggressive response to a conflict. When people are upset about things, they want different things, there's some tension. Dominating is where someone values their own needs and not much the needs of the relationship. So they're out to get for themselves. They're out to meet their own needs, and it doesn't really matter what happens to someone else. So they'll use aggressive verbal aggression, yelling, threats. There's something called stonewalling, where you refuse to talk about something, silent treatment, things like that. So this is, again, a style to get your own needs met. It's good for the person getting their needs. In the short run, may cause them long-run problems as well. Second style, compromising. Number 2, compromising. Compromising in some of our previous textbooks and material was seen as more positive than in this textbook, and sometimes it's the terminology. So in this textbook, compromising means, or is defined as, one person not giving in on their needs, but the other one does give in. So in order to reach a solution, sometimes this is helpful if there's a need for time, a quick need to get something done. One person will give in. So, okay, I don't want it, I'll do it your way, something like that. And so they're giving in. So it's overall, it helps the two parties resolve the conflict, but one person is compromising. In some of our previous teachings and classes, we would call the compromising style or define compromising as where both people would give some. And it was seen as a more positive style than in this textbook. Third style, avoiding. Avoiding. This is the style of just not dealing with it, period. These people may minimize what conflict is there. Oh, you know, he doesn't really have a drinking problem, blah, blah, blah. It's just bad once in a while. They just want to avoid conflict or tension at any cost, and they go away. They don't discuss it, don't deal with it. Again, benefit in the short run, in the long run, maybe not so much. Passive-aggressive is another style. A lot of people get confused with passive-aggressive and mix this up with being passive, which is like avoiding for a long time, letting things build, and then just emotionally exploding and letting it all out and being very aggressive and hostile and over the top with one's anger without much control over their behavior. And that's not what passive-aggressive is. Passive-aggressive is the combination of the two at the same time. So it's a mixed double message, and in this textbook and in many previous textbooks, it was considered fairly negative and unhelpful for any ongoing relationship, because it really doesn't allow anyone to deal with the problem and to talk about it and to solve it. So someone might say, oh, everything's fine, I'm good, but secretly they're not, and they let it show in some other kind of way. So somebody does something you don't like, and you find a way to get back at them. So your neighbor borrows a tool, they haven't returned it, they keep apologizing, and you're saying, oh, I'm fine, no worries, you just return it when you want, but secretly you're fuming. And what you do is the next time you're mowing the lawn next to the neighbor's yard, you accidentally mow over some of their flowers, let's say, or some of their grass in a bad way. Maybe not even consciously, but you're getting back at them. So that's an example of passive-aggressive. Integrating. Integrating is considered by this textbook, Chapter 10, to be the best style, but, well, the best style some of the time. The problem is this takes time. This is where everybody wins. Everybody gets what they want. Both parties in the conflict seem to work out a solution, but it takes time to figure out and brainstorm something that works for both people. Hard to give an example there, but the book may have some of those. That's the integrating style. Now, another piece of the conflict chapter that I want to review is responding to criticism, responding to conflicts. Someone is upset with you. They're criticizing you, whether it's in a relationship, at a job, someone in public, different ways to respond. And these are just two of the possibilities. Judgment call and social skills is very important and takes some time to learn how to do that well. So, one style, paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is where you put into your own words a short version of what the person has said back to them. It's sort of perception checking, saying, this is what I heard you say, blah, blah, blah. So you're feeling this, you're wanting this, making sure that you've got the communication nice and clear. So our temptation when people are criticizing us directly is to put up a wall and fight back. So you didn't do this and I don't like that. And so my response is, well, but make an excuse, attack back. It raises our temperature inside and makes us want to fight back for ourselves against that attack instead of saying, oh, you're right, I'm an idiot, whatever. And you don't want to be sarcastic either. So paraphrasing takes you out of that role. You are empathizing with the other person and looking at their perspective instead of advocating for your perspective. So that can be helpful. It can calm the other person down, can confirm that you have received their message properly, and then you can go from there. You may have to do something else, but paraphrasing is a good initial way to respond to that. So you showed up late. You're always late, and I had to wait for this, and somebody's complaining about that. Paraphrasing, yes, you're very frustrated with me right now. I was very late. That's a combination of the second strategy as well. Agreeing or partially agreeing with whatever you can agree with in the criticism. Don't agree with something that you actually don't think is accurate, but any piece of it will, again, calm down the person. It will help the interaction. It may help to move you on. So if they say, you're always late, you're so inconsiderate, I don't know why I married you, you're the worst husband or wife in the world. Don't agree with everything there, but you might want to agree with the part of it that you do see. So yes, I was maybe the first part of that. So those are two strategies. There are others in terms of how to deal with criticism, and hopefully this helps you with studying for the material. We'll see you next time. Take care.